evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Mihir Joshi. Welcome to the MJ Show. Now I got somebody who's coming up in just a little while, who I've genuinely loved and admired for a very, very long time. We met many, many years ago, and I actually remember, I think one of my bands, I can't remember which one, but we'd actually had the pleasure of performing with this gentleman's band as well at some gig that was happening. I don't remember what it was, but there was some gig that was happening, and I got to see him perform live at a really, really awesome show as well. And trust me when I say this, there's nothing that compares to watching Suraj Jagan perform live. It is heavy duty, like it's seriously amazing. So it's a great joy for me. It's genuinely a pleasure for me to have Suraj on today's episode, and there's so much to talk about. He's been a part of a whole bunch of rock bands. He's sung for Bollywood. He's sung for a lot of different styles of music, and he's sung in multiple languages as well. Yes, that's right. Zehrile Zehrile. That's the song that I'm talking about. That he sang in Rock On. That was a huge hit for him. There were a lot of other songs as well. Of course, Give Me Some Sunshine was one of them. Sadka, what was the song? Sadka Hua? I think that's what it was called. That was another big hit. I've just sent him a message. I'm hoping that he comes in. Kahan hai bhai? He has, by the way, he's got one of the coolest things happening for him right now. We're going to talk about that as well, which is he's chilling for many years now in Goa with his lovely wife. Sadka Kiya, that's right. I knew I was close enough but not completely right. I don't know what she means by saying, getting a message from her saying send request. Bhai, send request to bhej diya already. Where is she? Where is he? 1 minute, hold on. This is an interesting start to the episode, right? When it goes up on YouTube, people are going to be like, for a couple of minutes, Mihir was basically trying to figure out where his guest is. Happens sometimes. But it's great to see all of you who've joined in right now. Let me just see if I can. Alright, send him a message. Hopefully he should join us very, very soon. Oh, I see. Wait, I have not seen. He's asking, when will the MJ show be returning? Bhai, kahan pe ho aap? Today is my 130th episode of the MJ show. In the lockdown, घर पे बैठे बैठे इस 30th मार्च से लेके आज तक 130 episodes हो चुके हैं. 130. So when will the MJ show return? My question is, when did the MJ show go away? It's been right here. Well, joining us. Good to have you joining me today after 129 episodes. But it's good to see all of you who are here with me. Rupam, Ruta, Savio, Sneha is here. Yes, Ruta, I will get him to talk about that. There is Shubh, there is Gauri, there is Godashri, Vishwi is here. A lot of people who... Oh, hey, Kevin Fernando is here as well. A lot of people who Oh, there you go, Suraj. भाई कोई बताना तो चाहिए था कि Suraj has joined the conversation, and here I am messaging him saying come, and here he is, ladies and gentlemen, welcome on the show, Suraj Jagan. What's happening?
Wait.
Keep the camera vertical. There you go. How are you, man?
Good, man. How are you doing?
I've been good. It's been a long time since I have seen you either on like a chat like this or in person. I can't even remember. It's been at least like 6-7 years easily, right?
Yeah.
So
It's been 6 years since I've been in Goa.
6 years you've been in Goa. So 100% I've not seen you in the last 6 years for sure. But it's great to see you again right now. And I'm looking, a lot of people, before you came on, I saw a lot of your fans have been messaging, writing about, the songs that they love that you've done. But before we get into your Bollywood stuff, which is one aspect of what you do, let's actually talk about, as I call it, whenever somebody comes on the show for the first time, the origin story. And you've got one heck of an origin story. You've been a part of a lot of bands before Bollywood happened in your life. So let's talk about that. How did your journey into music begin? Where did it all begin from?
This goes back to way back. The 87 is when I started out, and I actually didn't have any idea that I would ever be a singer or anything like that.
Oh wow.
It just, yeah, it just so happened that I was trying to learn to play the guitar, and I was with a bunch of, I was with this guitar player who I was learning from, and he had a band, and we were sitting outside a church on a Sunday evening and watching all the girls go by, and there was one girl that I liked, and I started singing something to her, and so the singer of that band, the band that I was with, the guys that I was hanging out with, he said like, "Hey man, this guy can sing. So why don't we get him to sing backups for us?" So I was in such a good mood at that time. So I said like, yeah, anything. So next day I went to the practice pad, and that was my first experience on a mic. So I had never sung or performed even at home in front of people. And here I was singing with a professional. I mean, these guys were really professional session musicians. They were really good musicians, and they were much older than me at that time. In fact, the keyboardist, I think, was he used to play with R.D. Burman and all those. Like,
Wow.
so he was
Okay.
like, yeah. So like all of them were like seasoned guys, and here I was, a guy who would never even sung on a mic, straight away going to the practice pad. But the thing is, what happened that day was, the moment I sang on that mic and the band played, for me it was like a huge turning point in my life, because I was at a point in my life where I didn't know where I was going, and nothing was making sense to me. Like I was studying, I was in college at that time, but like I was like, man, I don't know where my life is going. I don't like feel like doing anything that is supposed to be done. So this just clicked, and this the feeling that I got when I sang for the first time on a mic with a band, I had never felt anything like that ever in my life.
Wow.
And that, yeah, at that moment, I decided in my mind, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. And I just made up my mind. I didn't tell this to anyone. Like I mentioned only 10 years later. Till then, I had never mentioned this to anyone. Now I've told this story to many people. But at that time, I'd never told this to anyone. I just decided in my mind this, because it just felt so good. Just being in a band.
Yeah.
Like, and I didn't think beyond that. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, unfortunately or fortunately, I don't know. I didn't think beyond that. Like, for me, it was like, man, like this feeling, this band feeling, that was it. So, I ended up being the lead singer of the band. I mean, I was supposed to sing backups, but somehow, for some reason, they liked the songs that I was getting them, and it was like a jazz rock band,
Right.
and the songs that I brought onto them were like the usual. I was into rock. I was not into jazz at all at that time. I mean, not that I'm into jazz now also, but so the songs that I got were, they would have never done those songs if it wasn't for me. And I ended up being the lead singer of the band. I mean, there was the other, he did his few songs, but I sang a majority of the songs, and the first time I was on stage was at a rock show in front of an audience, and before that I had never been on stage. I mean, not even in school or college or anything like that.
That's
So
amazing.
my first experience was that. That's where it hit me big time, and when I got the bug, whatever you call it, and I didn't really have a plan. I didn't have a backup plan or a forward plan. It was just the feeling was such that I just wanted to do this. I didn't look at where my life is going.
Right.
I just wanted to be in a band, and that's it. So that's where it started, and of course we were with that band didn't really last. It was like 2 shows, and that was it.
Internet issues. Internet issues. Wait. We can't hear you. We can't hear you. Just say that last line again. There was a little bit of an internet issue, and we didn't hear you. I heard you say that you wanted to be in a band, and what do you say after that?
Yeah, I was saying that that band didn't really last. They were all session musicians anyway, and I thought I like this is it for me, and this is my family and all that. But it didn't last. I mean, like we played one show, and the second show, I don't think even the second show happened. And I was like, that was my first disappointment, so called, in the music scene.
Yeah.
A lot more to come after that, but like this was the first one. Like before I could start, the band was over. So I said, like, I got like a bunch of guys together, and I formed my own band, and yeah, that's how the whole thing started. And I had no idea or no dreams of singing in films. Uh, First of all, I never thought that I was qualified to sing in films, to be frank, because I was not a trained singer. I still am not a trained singer. And uh, the kind of singers that existed when I started out were like really good, classically trained singers and things like that. I didn't think that I had a place. In fact, I didn't even think about it. I mean, it was not even something which was anywhere, in my dreams or whatever you call it. So I just went about playing, and those days were very different because there were hardly any TV channels. Forget internet. There were hardly any TV channels. It was a very different time. I mean, like something which like the generation now would probably hear people talking about it, but it's very difficult for this generation to even relate to what it was in those days.
Correct.
So there was a lot of plus points and minus points, like as usual.
Yeah.
The plus point for us was that people were starved of live music. I mean, like they like to see live shows. By chance, if someone's cousin or someone is in America, he would bring you a VHS tape of an MTV Headbangers Ball, and that's how you got to kind of see some bands. It was a real thing. So in those days, we were like literally treated like rock stars because the kind of shows that we've done, we used to get flown down, put up in 5-star hotels and things like that, which was in those days there were no low cost airlines.
Correct. It was unprecedented. It wasn't that kind of stuff wasn't happening, of course.
Yeah. So we rode that wave like as long as we could, and we enjoyed that whole scene. And also there were like there were no indoor shows, at least when we started out. It was all outdoors. So we played places like football stadiums and things like that. Rang Bhavan used to be the smallest crowd that we used to play for.
Damn.
And the biggest crowds used to be like huge crowds, and packed, completely packed, because people used to be starved of live music. So it used to like people breaking down barricades to get in and things like that, So it was, from that point of view, it was fun. Like getting gigs, getting paid was not a problem. I was just living off this. There was nothing else. I mean, I was not doing anything else.
Okay.
So from that point of view, it was great. But the minus point, the con of the whole thing was that they didn't want to hear any of your originals. You mentioned that you're playing.
Correct.
They just wanted to hear cover. And we were writing songs, but the moment you even mentioned that you're going to play a original.
Which band was this? Which band was this? Which band are you talking about?
This is I found a band called Crisis. That was my own band.
Right. Yeah. Right. But we moved a little ahead, and I want to get to your first. You remember when you first went and stood in front of the mic and you sang? What did you sing? What was that song that made you feel like, holy shit, this is what I want to be doing for the rest of my life? What was the first song that you sang?
I think it was Tom Sawyer. I can't really remember. I think it was Tom Sawyer by Rush. Yeah, I can't really remember which song it was. I have a feeling it was Tom Sawyer.
Okay, let's put it another way. In that first band, which lasted only one gig, like you said, tell me one song that you performed back then, which you still love right now, and which you if given the option to do a cover, you'd love to do that song again. What would that song be from that first band?
God, now that is problem is like when I think about those days, I rarely think about the songs that I sang. Uh, I don't even know whether it was Tom Sawyer. It was like I somehow can't remember the songs that I sang. There was one song by Motley Crue that I sang.
Okay.
Uh, it was called "All in the Name of Rock and Roll" or something. It was a cheesy kind of song, but I was into Motley Crue also at that time, and so I got that. Yeah, I think that was one of the songs. There was some Judas Priest. Um, I
What I'm
can't,
trying
and
to
I
get
can't.
at is, I know we've been talking, and I know your fans would love to hear you sing something, and I would love to sing. I would love for you to sing something from that period, like something that you heard back then. Maybe you don't remember what it is that you sang with the band, but something from that space. Could we hear you sing a line or two of an old song back in the day, which was your early influences, the kind of rock music that you were listening to, even if it's just a line or two? I know it's quite, most of the songs are heavy and you need a band, but just strip it down. Let's hear a line or two of something that you heard back in the day.
I'll try and sing this thing, Tom Sawyer. Let's see. Modern day warrior, mean, mean pride. Today's Tom Sawyer, mean, mean stride. It sounds very bad without the music, man.
I know, I know.
All that.
I know, which is why I said a line or two. We'll get to the musical, the more melodic songs right now as we go further. But I wanted a song from that time, at least a representation, so that the guys, your younger fans who are following you right now, get an idea of what you were listening to back then, what you were singing back then. And then you said, you let's talk about Crisis. You were making originals even during Crisis time, or because I remember
Yeah,
around
yeah.
at some point in time you went to Hong Kong as well, right?
Yeah, I was in Hong Kong for 2 years. I went there because Sharmila, my wife, I mean, we were not married at that time, but she was flying for Cathay Pacific and she was based in Hong Kong.
Nice.
And I was missing her like mad, and also that one particular year there was something happened with Rang Bhavan. It was shut down for some reason, and then there was rock. We used to go to Bangalore quite often, and that also there was something happening in Bangalore which was not happening. So somehow the shows were not like happening that regularly, and we were like, uh, and the band guys also were like, not turning up for practice on time and all those kind of things. I mean, it was just a lull kind of period at that time, and it was a time where I thought like, man, nothing's happening over here. And I'm missing her a lot. I might as well just, go to Hong Kong and be with her for some time. And that's how I landed up in Hong Kong. And once I went there, I thought maybe music is not meant for me. I got into that space, where maybe music is not the thing for me. It was a phase, and I think I need to do something else. But then I was not qualified to do anything else. So I said, like, okay, let me just do the rounds of the studios over there, see if I can get a job or something. I didn't get anything. I did the rounds. I didn't get any job. But there was Mark Menezes was there. Who was
From industry,
an
Rock
industry.
Machine.
So yeah.
Yeah.
So I met up with him, and he was already playing in a band. He was playing with a bunch of Scots over there, and so we got talking, and he said, like, man, like, whenever we've done any Beatles song over here, it not only works with the whites, even the Chinese love it. So I said, like, man, why don't we? And they never used to do that many. They used to do one or two Beatles songs. They never did that many Beatles songs. So I said, why don't we form a band and do a whole lot of Beatles songs? I just wanted to be in a band, basically. So yeah. So he said, like, for him, it took a while to get into a band over there. Yeah, after he moved over there, it quite a while for him to. So he said, like, yeah. You get a band together and we'll do it. Like, I think he thought that I wouldn't be able to do it. So, but I got people together. I found people from, like, you won't believe where all. Like, there was a guy literally busking in the metro, who I found. He was this French guy, was doing nothing. He had his guitar case open. I passed him by. Me and my bassist, we were walking, and we passed him, and suddenly we felt like, "Arey, this guy seems to be good. Like, what he's playing." We went up to him and said, like, any Beatles songs? He said, yeah. What do you want to hear? So we said, like, okay, this. Now he did what this, that. He played all that, and so next thing I asked him, you want to be in a band? He said, yeah, I'm doing nothing. Like, I don't mind. Come on. So like that, we got people. And we had a ball of a time in Hong Kong. Like the band was even in Hong Kong. The big scene is the canto pop scene.
Okay.
The pub bands never really get mentioned in newspapers and things like that. We got a whole article in their biggest newspaper, South China Post or something. It was. We got a whole article written about us, a band that was doing cover songs.
Cover, yeah.
Yeah, so it was great, but the only thing was, like, I was missing writing songs, and and that's the reason I came back in the end, even though Sharmila was still there, and I just decided, like, man, I can't do this. I used to, in fact, just go and pick up anybody, meet at like a waiter in a place, he says, like, I can play guitar, come home, chal, let's write something. I used to get people from anywhere, just so desperate to write songs.
Yeah.
But in a way, that's where I actually started writing songs with the limited chords that I knew. It started in Hong Kong, where I, out of complete, desperation, I started writing songs on my own. Otherwise, I like to write with a guitar player. I don't like to play guitar that much.
So after Hong Kong, you came back to India and you became a part of a band. But before we talk about that, one favorite Beatles song of yours. Let's hear it. Something that you did with the band there. This you can do with, or if you have a guitar, use that.
I've got something to say that might cause you pain. If I catch you talking to that boy again, I'm gonna let you down and leave you flat. Because I told you before, oh, you can do that. That was one of my favorite songs. It's not a very popular song.
I was just going to say that. That's a very rare song when somebody says, okay, sing a Beatles song. I've not heard anybody ever sing this one. That's awesome, man.
It's a beautiful song. You should check this song out. I think it's called You Can't Do That.
You Can't Do That.
It's a beautiful, yeah.
Lovely. So you came back to Mumbai and you joined a band or you formed a band. How did that? What happened after that?
So the last lineup of Crisis was just 4 guys, and Paresh was one of them.
Yeah.
Paresh Kamath.
Yeah.
So when I came back, I didn't even go home. In fact, I went straight to Paresh's house.
Okay.
And I plonked myself in his house. And I just wanted to get back. We had written a lot of songs together, just me and Paresh. So I wanted to get back to that. So I was living with them. And now when I look back, I'm very grateful that they accepted me. But I can't imagine how I just plonked myself over there at that time. I didn't think about anything else. In fact, I just wanted to write with him, and so we got back into writing, and we were thinking of getting back the band together. And this was the time when Dhruv Ganekar, Chakravyuh, he called me up and he said, like, man, why did you come and sing with us? So I said, like, man, I'm here with Paresh and I'm writing songs with him. He said, like, yeah, okay, like, get Paresh also along. So that's how Paresh and I joined Chakravyuh.
Nice.
And yeah, and that was one of the best experiences where songwriting is concerned for me. Like, till date, like, when I think about a bunch of guys getting together and writing stuff, that combination was a lethal combination. The kind of stuff that we came out with, it was unfortunately, we have some like very uh, weird videos of some live things that we've done, which is like borderline embarrassing stuff that which exists. But like we unfortunately we never really recorded anything, and because the thing is Dhruv and Paresh are very different guitar players,
Right.
and the combination of both of them and T2 and Anand and Paresh and T2 used to sit down and write the basic structure of the songs. I used to come in and write the lyrics and come up with a melody and all that. And Dhruv used to come in and put his own parts. And the combination was such that we had a sound which was unique,
Right.
for those times. So, and we played shows in those days where again it was not really cool to play originals even then,
Right.
but it was kind of getting better.
Yeah.
But still, it was like a risky thing for a band to do in India at that time, because
Correct.
risky meaning you could get, there have been instances where we've gotten just by mentioning that, this is one of our originals. You've not even played the song. You just mentioned it, and that's the response. Used to like, and then bottles and shit like that. This is mostly in Rangbawan. This used to happen.
Oh, Rangbawan used to be Metallica.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, so that was a scene. But somehow the Chakravyuh songs went down really well with the crowd, even though they knew it was originals. And wherever we played, like whether it was in Bombay, Pune, Hyderabad, it was always, it went down really well. I mean, yeah, I mean that was I think for me, where songwriting is concerned, that was my best time that I've had
Nice.
with Chakravyuh.
Nice.
Yeah.
And after Chakravyuh, when was Dream Out Loud? Was it immediately after Chakravyuh?
No. For some reason, Chakravyuh just fizzled out. Everyone went their own way after one show. I don't know what happened exactly, why it happened. And I don't know what I was doing, but like I got into this band called Spirals. So it was a very strange coincidence that one day I was watching MTV live, some show on MTV, and I saw this band, and I liked their honesty. I mean, like there was something really honest about what they were writing. It was not like their songs were like really unique or anything, but they were being very honest with what they were writing, and I liked that about them. The next thing I know, I've gone for a Pentagram gig, and these guys, the singer and the bassist, comes to me and says like, would you sing for us? And I was like, yeah, man, I just saw you all like a couple of days back, and so that was my and they were only into originals. That was another thing which I really liked about them. They didn't want to play any covers. So that happened for a while, and we did quite a few. I mean, like almost like every Rangbawan show that happened, and they were boys from South Bombay, or Altamont Road, and Breach Candy, and all this from there. And I used to ride all the way there every day on my Enfield, and but it was a fun experience. I mean, they were very disciplined in terms of practice and everything. Like we start at 3, end at 5. All that. It was great. I mean, yeah, but that went on for a while, and Dream Out Loud happened much later, actually. Dream Out Loud happened after I started doing jingles and all that. Like,
And yeah, I think even this was Dream Out Loud was what, 2007?
I can't remember, man. Yeah, I'm very bad with dates.
You know what? Here's a blast from the past. I actually have.
Oh shit!
I have your CD, man, and yeah, I think it's some 2007. So around 2007, you'd also recorded your maybe your first or second Bollywood songs as well, right?
I think so. Yeah, I think I'd already done Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, because
My
I think
first
even
Hindi song.
your even Rock On was like around 2000, what, 2009, if I'm not wrong. 2008 was Rock On. So like around the time Dream Out Loud was active, you had sung for Rock On as well, and that was like a huge deal, right? I mean, everybody who
Yeah,
had completely tripped out on
that
the
was
Rock
the
On
band.
song.
Like, yeah, in fact, the band in the movie where when I'm singing the song is Dream Out Loud,
Dream Out Loud.
the band behind me.
Yeah.
And we were called Chakravyuh in the movie.
I remember, and it was like a full heavy metal kind of a song, right? Zerile, Zerile.
Yeah, really, yeah,
Yeah. So,
yeah,
so Dream Out Loud was happening around the same time. And like I said, you guys put out an album together called Human Race. And
yeah.
why did that band come to an end as well?
Um, I think that was my fault because we were just playing the same venues like Hard Rock and it was. I just felt like we're putting in a lot of effort, but it's just getting nowhere kind of feeling. I started getting. I mean, like I don't know whether I was right or wrong, but uh, and like we even made videos and put out albums, and we were worked on them. In fact, this is one album, and we had songs for another album, and but like somehow I started feeling this feeling of stagnation, and which I hate. I mean, I don't like to feel. I want things to move. If it's not moving, then I start feeling frustrated.
Yeah.
So somehow I started getting that feeling of stagnation. And that's when I said, like, man, I don't want to do this anymore. And yeah, that was my thing. I mean, like, it was not Chandresh. He wanted to do the band, but I said, like, man, I don't want to do this anymore because I'm just not feeling it. I mean, it was one of those things. Like, I can't explain. I mean, I've always gone with what I feel. The reason I got into singing was because it made me feel good.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
if it's something bogging me down and it's not feeling good, then I just leave it. I mean, I don't really think about consequences as such. I just do it, like, so that's the way I've been going about my life so far.
Yeah. But soon thereafter, you got your huge Bollywood hit, right? Give Me Some Sunshine from Three Idiots. And that must have definitely changed your life from the perspective that, like, everybody knew who you were. I mean, like, of course, the indie music scene, the English music scene, and, some rock lovers knew who you were even before that. But Give Me Your Sunshine was that huge. It was like going from being Motley Crue to being Taylor Swift. You know what I mean? Like in the English music analogy. Like, yeah, of course, everybody still know. The rock music fans know who Motley Crue is, but everybody knows who Taylor Swift is all across the world. And that was like your. I hate the fact that I use a Taylor Swift analogy, but you get my point. And I was like, as mainstream and as massy as it gets. And how did that change? You as an artist as well, because I can see that you got you did a lot more songs, because this was in 2009, I think, that Three Idiots happened. And right after that, you've done quite a few Bollywood films after that. And then, like you said, 6 years ago you made a move to Goa, but we'll get to the Goa move in a little while. First, tell me what happened when Give Me Some Sunshine released.
See, the thing is, when I recorded that song, it was recorded way before the movie was even. I don't think they even had started shooting the movie. I don't think the script was ready. So it was way back. So I didn't even know the name of the movie. Thing is, like, when I go to do a jingle or a movie song, for me, anything other than the band is just a job. So for me, my passion lies with the band. Everything else is just a job. I can do it, so I'm doing it. Um, so when I went to record for Shantanu Moitra, it was just a session for me, something that pays my bills. So I went, I did it, and there were some boxes in the corner of the studio with Three Idiots written on it, and I didn't even know what that meant. I didn't ask anybody what it was. I didn't know which movie it was, and I don't even bother to ask people what, like there are times when I come back home, not time, many times in fact, when I come back home and Sharmila asks me, like, what did you do? And by the time I've come home, I've forgotten because I'm listening to some Pantera or some shit like that in the car. And by the time I come home, I've forgotten what I've sung, what product it was, or what movie it was. So this was also one of those things, So, so I never really expected a song like that to become such a big hit to start with.
Right.
Because it had an English chorus,
Correct.
and the fact that it became such a big hit, it just blew my mind. I mean, and also the way it touched people.
Yeah.
When I started doing live gigs, that's when I realized that the impact of the song, because
Huge.
It's not funny how huge the song got, because the thing is, there in the audience, like when I'm singing, many times my eyes are closed, and that's why I wear this. So, so what happens is, like, my guitar player would come up to me and say, like, "Hey man, just look to the left. There are these kids who have tears in their eyes." Like things like that, and I get blown by that. I just can't imagine the impact of that song.
It's amazing.
Now I kind of know. Yeah, I mean, it is the lyrics and things like that. Why it is, and the people who are especially in engineering colleges, they can really relate to that song, and like I understand that now. But when I started out, I just couldn't believe that this song has had that kind of an impact on the audience.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, like. I just take it as it comes, man. I mean, like I again rode that wave for as long as it, took me, and it was great, man. It was fun.
For everybody who loves that song, can I hear you sing a line or two of that?
Okay. सारी उम्र हम मर मर के जी लिए, एक पल तो अब हमें जीने दो na 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 na. Give me some sunshine, give me some rain, give me a chance. I wanna grow up once again.
Damn, yeah. That was awesome, man. I get what you mean with the lyrics and the melody. It's just such a beautiful song. So here's a very interesting sort of connect that I'm going to make right now. In this, since the 30th of March, I've been doing this show, the talk show of mine live here on Instagram. And about a couple of months ago, I had Shantanu Moitra on the show, and we spoke about a lot of interesting things I did. And in fact, intentionally, we talked about things apart from Bollywood. But I knew that this is the one song from his repertoire as well that everybody still loves so very, very much. So I kind of spoke about that a little bit. And the other song of yours that I know you also love, because I've seen, or at least Wikipedia claims that you love it, is Sadka Kiya, which you sang with Mahalakshmi Iyer. And Mahalakshmi Iyer was just, I think last week she was on the show. So I thought that it's an interesting thing that, Shantanu Moitra's, one of his best songs is sung by you, and my guest from just last week sang a song that you really love. So why that song? Why Sadka Kiya? Why do you like that song? By the way, is Wikipedia right, or is Wikipedia bullshitting right now? Is that one of your favorite songs that you've done?
It is one of my favorite songs. But I also, there is another song which has been an all-time favorite, which I've really not mentioned because I kind of had forgotten about it. It's a song that I'd done for Ranjit Barrett, which was in a movie called Brides Wanted. I don't know whether the movie, whether it came out or what it was, but that song, when I hear it even till date, I just love that song. It's just called Zindagi, and it's a beautiful song.
Lovely.
I mean that's one of my all-time favorites. And Sadka Kiya has also been up there with yeah, one of my favorite. It's just a beautiful song, man. I mean, like
It is.
I should look at that other song by Vishal Shekhar called which KK had sung. Uh, खुदा जाने that one.
Yeah,
खुदा जाने. Yeah, that
Khuda
used to
Jaane,
be one of
yeah.
my favorite. That used to be one of my favorite songs of Vishal Shekhar, and then they got me to sing this one, and
Yeah,
uh, this is kind of like, to me it's on that similar kind of vibe, you know,
space, yeah.
like
Yeah.
yeah. So I really like this song, Sadka Kiya. I perform it differently when I do it live. I do it very differently from how it is how they did it.
How do you do
I
it
just do
differently?
it.
What do you mean?
I just do it with a keyboard and me just singing, just
Oh,
the keyboard
lovely.
and me singing.
A
Yeah.
line, please let me hear how you would do it. Imagine your keyboard players with you right now.
कुछ ख्वाब देखे हैं, कुछ रंग सोचे हैं, अब मैंने कल अपने तेरे संग सोचे हैं, सदका किया यूं इश्क का, forgot the word now.
No problem, man. By the way, I just looked up while when you were telling me about the Ranjit Barot song. Wikipedia says
Yeah.
yet to be released. So apparently the song is now, it's a 2007 film called Brides Wanted.
Brides Wanted, but you can get the song online. The song
Song
is
there.
there. It's a
Acha.
yeah, kick-ass song, man. And it's all Ranjit Barrett, man. I mean, the thing is, the way he's done the song, now the arrangement and things like that, it's like it might sound slightly dated right now, but it's beautiful, man. It's just kick-ass, man. It's his attitude. You can hear it in the song, man.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
For sure, man. I'm gonna. So for everybody watching right now, when this video goes up on the YouTube channel of the MJ Show, I'm gonna give you a link to Zindagi from Brides Wanted. You guys should go and check it out. And I'm also gonna give you a link to Suraj Jagan's YouTube channel where he's putting out some new content. There's a song that you put out just a few days ago, right, on the 8th of June. There's a song called what? Awake.
Yeah, I did that. That was mainly for uh, the thing is, the whole scenario right now, what the whole pandemic and all those things that's been going on right now, it's just been I've just been noticing, you know, that uh, people are in so much of fear right now,
Yeah.
and it's very difficult to see things clearly when you're in fear. That like I know what it is to be in fear. I've dealt with fear all my life, so I know what it is. And the thing is, like that's something that I have been working on throughout my life more than anything else, you know. And what happens is, when the more fear that exists, the easier it is to be manipulated and controlled.
Yeah.
You know, so you literally can't see. You won't know the truth when you're in fear.
Yeah.
Like you'll kind of get into stuff that online which you kind of relate to, and you're latching onto things to justify your point of view.
Yeah.
And things like that, you know. So, but if you have that fear in you, it's very difficult to see the truth.
Yeah.
But at the same time, thing is, you can't tell people not to have fear.
Yeah.
It's easier said than done. I mean, like, when somebody is in fear, you can't really say like, hey, don't be in fear. If you have fear, you know, it's like, if someone's in fear, it's like, then that becomes a fear. Like, oh shit, I'm in fear. That itself will be a scary situation. That I'm fearful, so I can't see the truth, and that becomes the fear.
Right.
So it's like a loop. But but also what's happening right now is that in spite of all that, this lockdown has been quite a good thing in a way, because it has given people a chance to sit down at home,
Yeah.
and and you don't have a choice but to reflect, man. I mean, like, how much TV will you watch? How much, So in the end, you got to kind of, think about what's happening,
Correct.
So in a way, it's been good. Uh, I have a feeling that there's a lot of good that's going to come out of this whole thing that's happened,
Yeah.
because people are not trusting uh, mainstream media anymore. Everything is kind of being exposed for what it is,
Yeah.
and that's a really good thing, because like now, you can't trust media, and you can't uh, whatever's happening online, for instance.
Yeah.
You think like, okay, man, these guys seem to be speaking.
Now, oh, there you go. He's out of the screen, and now let me add him once again. Adding him once again. All right, here we go. So, like I was saying, he's put out a new song on his YouTube channel called Awake, which he was speaking about right now, and I'm hoping he will complete, his train of thought at least before we wrap up for today. And I just realized, man, while talking, we've already reached like some 48 minutes of this conversation. But hopefully, I can get Suraj back on, because I don't want to leave this conversation halfway ended the way it ended when he had to leave. Oh, he's also got a new song out on Saregama Music. I believe this was done as like a tribute to the police working hard in our country right now. This was released on 3rd of June 2020, just about 10 days ago. This is his cover of an old classic, Kisi Ki Muskurahaton Pe. So it's a beautiful, beautiful version. You should go and check it out. Um, and I'm not able to add Suraj on again. Let me try one last time. Come on, Suraj. Come on, come on, come on. Hopefully, I'll be able to add him on now so that we can end it with him. Oh, there you go. He is able to join us once again.
What happened?
Internet issues. Where is he?
He's right here.
So give him the camera.
Yeah, 1 second.
How have you been? Good to see you here.
Good, good, good.
You left. You
Hello,
went out
sorry,
already.
I got out of the room.
I realized you left the room. You went somewhere else. I said at least come back and say bye bye to people properly before we wrap up for the day. Okay, Suraj. So we still didn't get the story of why Suraj moved to Goa. And as you can see, I'm assuming Goa has internet issues right now. Actually, everybody has internet issues if you have not got. Oh, there you go. He's back on. Hello.
Yeah,
Hey. So you were talking about Awake. I didn't want to just randomly close off that conversation. We'll wrap up in a couple of minutes in any case. But tell me a little bit. You were finishing off about Awake.
1 second. Dogs are going mad. Yeah, sorry.
There you
So
go.
what were you saying?
Back. So you were saying, no, you were talking about await and how people are living in fear, and you were saying how long can people not reflect and think about themselves and just watch random television and stuff. So you were saying what you were telling me a little bit about the thought process behind the song that you put out.
Yeah, so the chorus of the song goes like, when the blind leads the blind, dark times makes no difference at all. You don't see the light. You don't notice when your life begins to fall to pieces. That's the chorus of the song, and it's basically that, like it's there are people who are disillusioned, who are for whatever reason. I mean, like that they are literally. Uh, now, I don't want to really get into the whole spiritual kind of thing. Um, but anyway, the bottom line is, to be able to decipher what the truth is, and the only way you will be able to see the truth is if you get over your own fears. I mean, if you're in fear, it's very difficult to see the truth. That's the bottom line.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to say in that song. So yeah, I mean, and there's so much fear, man, which is going on right now. I mean, like for everybody. But it like the challenge is to be able to get out of that, like in however you can get out of that fear.
Yeah.
The fear is not going to help you in any way, like it's not going to keep you safe, because you will be able to be manipulated if you have fear. That's the thing. That's a message that I wanted to give with that song.
That's beautiful, man. Before we wrap up for today, something that I mentioned at the very start, that for the last 6 years now you've been living in Goa. Are you happy with the switch, getting out of Mumbai and heading to Goa?
Oh yeah, man. That's something which is. This has been my dream ever since I first came for a holiday to Goa. I've been thinking about this, but I was living hand to mouth, and I just couldn't afford to make that move. And the day I decided long back, this is one of those things. It's a very hard-driven thing. It doesn't really make any sense from a practical point of view or professional point of view or anything like that. But I've never really lived my life. I mean, I've just gone with whatever I felt like. So this is what I did. I mean, this for me it was it just makes sense for me to be here in Goa. Like I love this place. I don't regret one bit. I don't miss Bombay at all. Like and because I've never really been a city guy. I came to Bombay when I was 11 years old, and I never really could adjust to that that whole vibe of Bombay. It's like a survival kind of city. Everybody is a survivor over there. I learned a lot from the city, no doubt. But I don't really like buildings, and like I like to see trees, and I like to see nature, and I've always been like that. Ever since I was a kid, I was like that. And Hong Kong was another place which I didn't like, mainly because of that, because it was like it was a magnified version of Bombay. It was like living in a mall, over there in Hong Kong. I didn't like that place at all, So it's different when you go for shopping and when you go for a holiday, but it's not the kind of place that I like to live in. I don't like to live in a flat. I don't like to, so that's why I just decided, put everything in the car and we just took off one day. That's what we did.
That's amazing, man. So you know what? I want to. It's been great catching up after so many years, and hopefully the next time we talk is not after 6-7 years more. For everybody who's been watching from the start, people who love your music, people who love you as an artist, is there a message that you want to give everybody?
Oh God, man, this thing is always one message.
Arey, don't give a complicated message. Na? Tell them, stay safe, be at home. Fuck, that's it.
No, my message is that, man. I mean, like the really look into your fears and see that every fear is just an illusion, and if you can get over that, if you can realize that, it's going to be great. I mean, life can, it's not over, man. It's not over. It's like, people will, the way the times are right now, a lot of people might be thinking that it's over and there's no hope at all, but it's not. I mean, it's a great time that is going on right now. If you get to see it the right way, you'll realize that this is the best thing that could have happened to the world, because the shit has hit the fan. Everything is out in the open.
Yep.
Everything is clear. It's scary, but it's all out in the open right now. You can see what is what right now. Who are the people who are doing the shit, and who are the people who are getting controlled and manipulated. Just don't be one of those manipulated guys. I mean, try your best to get out of that situation of that mindset, basically. Like somehow I've been racking my brains to be able to come up with something where how do you instill courage in people is my question right now. It's a difficult thing, but when somebody's in fear, it's very difficult to do that.
You know what? Thank you for the message. Thank you for spending time with me today. Whoa. Phone is down.
Sorry, man.
No problem, man. I just wanted to tell you, it was such a pleasure chatting with you today. Looking forward to seeing you sometime soon. Maybe once this pandemic is over, Neha and I and my little baby boy Neil, we'll hop into our car and drive down to Goa, because Neha also loves Goa, and I'll come and say hi to you there.
Definitely, man. Anytime. Most welcome.
Take care of yourself, man. See you soon.
See you. Thanks, man.
Bye.
Bye.
And that was the absolutely incredible Suraj Jagan. My name is Mihir Joshi. This was a very, it was such a cool episode of the MJ Show, guys. And I want to thank everybody who stuck around, who watched, who came in, watched a little bit and went back. Subscribe to the MJ Show. Subscribe to Suraj Jagan's YouTube channel. And we'll get you some great stuff. He's got some great music coming your way. I've got more episodes of the MJ Show coming up. Hey, speaking of music, I've just put up a video on my Instagram feed. Go and check that out, of me playing Hallelujah on my ukulele. It's been fun. And this is the start of the week. Lots more to come in this week. I will see you again very, very soon. Take care of yourself. Good night. Bye-bye.